Hey, hotties, welcome. I am currently in the dark, and I love it. If I trust anything in this world, in this life, I trust my joy and I trust my gut. And I feel like it's going to feel questionable sometimes because maybe partly because it isn't the norm. Also, partly because it is the unknown and it is always new. The moment is always new. You are creating something. And if you're being authentic, you're bringing something different to the table because you are being you and you look different. You are unique. That's what authenticity is. Your uniqueness. I think it's easy to feel like you have to do things a certain way. And that's also maybe because of the way the world is. If you're playing a game, if we're playing this game of life, if you're operating in the world, maybe you think you need to operate a certain way. But maybe you don't. I think you can see it both ways. But overall, however you want to move works. And you don't have to go off of anything but you. You don't need to look at the history. The road doesn't need to be paved. If you do, and it works, beautiful. And if that feels truly aligned, beautiful. It's probably easier. And if that's what's meant for you, then that's what's meant for you. If it's not, you're going to feel that. And I think with this example, I don't know if I said it already, but, recording podcasts this way, it feels like I should be doing it a different way, right? Like if I'm sharing with the world, one thing to add is I don't really feel aligned with I just don't feel called to sharing much on certain platforms online. It just feels off for me. More of the short form cuts, short form world. Just being heavily involved. Because yes, you can use social media and the internet as a tool. But if you are involved, you can be as detached as you want, but if you are in it at all, it's going to consume you more than just creating the piece. Unless you really just want to do that, then that can work, but there's going to be other aspects. There's going to be other areas that you're going to be involved in. So it's challenging sometimes to be involved if you are doing it very different than nearly everyone. Making a podcast, I know some people, whether it's they stick to audio only, which isn't terribly common nowadays. A lot of people do video and audio, which I do as well. But I also really feel called to do audio only. Maybe once in a while video is cool too, but I'm going episode by episode. I'm going day by day. I know what I feel right now, But some people feel called to share video and audio. And maybe that's because they want to or they feel that they have to. Some people are posting like crazy. And that's also because they feel like they have to, or they simply feel called to, and that feels aligned to them. But many, many people are sharing just to share. And that is felt. Not from everyone, but from a lot of people. Maybe not a lot, but I mean, there's a lot of people in this world, right? Some feel it more than others. If you are creating art, however you want to create that art in this life, whatever way lights you up, whatever way excites you, is the way for you. And I think a lot of the times that is going to be questionable if you are being authentic, because it's going to look different. That's the unknown. That's unfamiliar. That's foreign. But you have to trust that. If you have an inkling, if you have a sign, if you feel it in your heart, like, oh, that kind of lights me up. That's all you need. That's powerful. You're going to trust that random stranger that you bumped into, or that family member, or that friend, or old friend, or whoever, over your gut, over your heart. You see the power of words? You see the power of perspective? You have all the answers. All you need is what you feel drawn to. That will take you where you want to go. Doing things because you feel like you have to do them just makes tainted art. The world. Oh, how did someone, Charles Bukowski, he said it like, he said, in his So You Want to Be a Writer, he says, oh, it's so good. It's like a random line in that poem. So you want to, how does it start? It's like, it talks about basically books in a library, and he's like, don't add to that. Don't add to that mess. Oh yeah, if it doesn't come bursting out of you, don't do it. Real quick, the line that made me think of this was, the libraries of the world have yawned themselves to sleep over your kind. Don't add to that. Don't do it. Just wanted to insert that real quick. Also, do you see why I use a better mic? Okay, peace and love. And I think that poem, or whatever it is, it's so popular because there's like a shortened version of it. I didn't even know it was called So You Want to Be a Writer, but because this can go for any type of art. If it doesn't come bursting out of you, don't do it. The first time I heard that, that stuck with me. Oh, God, no one is moving like that. Hardly, it seems almost non-existent. Damn, it kind of does. Like, that's how rare it feels. If it doesn't come bursting out of you. Oh, God, what the fuck? And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't show up. Like, yes, show up, create art. But even if you show up, you're practicing, you're putting in the reps. That doesn't mean that if you show up, you are going to make gold. No, that's practice. Sometimes you got to put in the effort to become effortless. You got to rehearse. You got to put in the reps. You're not always supposed to make your best work every day. What? You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean do it when you feel like it. Not necessarily. Because some days, maybe you won't get much. Maybe some days you'll get a little bit, and then some days will be crazy. But I think if you push it too much, that's where it's obvious. But maybe, and each to their own when it comes to this. But I know a lot of people won't resonate with this. I see both sides. But for the most part, if it doesn't come bursting out of you, don't do it. Do something else. The world needs more of that. The world needs more authenticity. And part of me feels, well, maybe mastery doesn't take 10,000 hours. Maybe you don't have to spend your entire life doing one thing. You can't put yourself in a box. You're a human being. You're multifaceted. Even if you like one thing a lot and you focus on one thing or a few things for the most part your whole life, you like a lot of other things. And I do think that we have gifts and we all bring what we bring to the table. But maybe that doesn't mean that you have to focus relentlessly every day. I think that, the hustle culture and always go, go, go and being in this, I don't know, this fast-paced rat race and that mentality and having that energy has affected people a lot. Again, each to their own. If you feel truly called to spend a lot of your time on one thing, that is beautiful. If not, then don't. If you do want to master something, and maybe it does take almost a lifetime, then so be it. If you want to do more different things, so be it. But I think we can all feel that the world needs some more excitement in individuals. And the spirit of people, big city energy for sure is, gosh, I feel like a lot of people are just ripping their hair out. Love will always show you the way. Love will always guide you. And do you have the courage to go down that path? Is the question. Because if you do, no matter what that looks like, the love will take care of you. When you move with love, when you move with trust, you get that right back. No question. That's the way it works here. The patterns are everywhere. You don't need to know the answers right now. You don't need to feel rushed. Too many people feel that way. The energy is very clear. You have time. Don't take the gift for granted. Don't take this time for granted. We have limited time here if you want to see it that way. But life is long. Life is long enough. It's so perfect. It was written so perfect. It's beyond us. It is beyond us. We don't even understand fully how the body works, how the brain works. What? It's comical how people think they know. It's supposed to be mysterious. It's supposed to. It's clear in my eyes. You get nowhere when you rush. You get nowhere. The process will take even longer. Be patient. And if you stay in love, if you stay in trust, it will come bursting out of you. And you'll know.